Hey guys, so I'm here. I have Coach Sharon, I have Coach Michael. I know you guys hear me talk about Dr. Eric Prince, and sometimes you hear me mention Coach Sharon and Coach Michael. Well, voila, they're here.
Mhm,
Now, I recently shared my test results with you guys, and I know you guys heard how I feel about my test results, but I wanted you guys to hear from Coach Sharon and Coach Michael um, what their thoughts are on my test results. So I've had HSV 2 since 2022. When I originally tested, I was at a 5.8. I tested again in August of 2024. I was at a 8.59. And then I recently just tested 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks
mhm,
ago, and I was at a 8.22. And I did my 3-week cleanse, Coach Sharon, because me and you talked a lot. Did it with
mhm,
no hiccups. Did I had a few detoxification symptoms, but not too much.
mhm.
But I did, what I ate during my post cleanse.
Yeah.
I was good for the most part. I was good. Listen, I ain't have no meat, no
Mhm.
meat.
And I'm proud of you for that.
Yes, that's big for me
Mhm.
coming from the diet that I had. But I wanted them to hear from you all. But first, before you guys kind of go into like how you guys feel about how I did in my post cleanse and my results, could you guys just take a quick second just to introduce yourselves really quick and then tell me how you feel about me?
Okay, well, I am Coach Sharon. I'm a health and wellness coach, and I have been for the last 6 years. Prior to that, I worked at a health food store for a number of years. So I have a wealth of knowledge on herbs and vitamins and supplements. And so very knowledgeable in that area. I've been studying under Dr. Eric Prince for the last 6 years, learning my craft, and eventually I will become a holistic doctor. I just got to keep studying. I've learned a lot. I'm going to continue to learn a lot. I consider myself to be a forever student because there's always something to learn, especially when it comes to health and wellness and how the mind and body work. Um, for those of you that don't know, my relationship with Dr. Prince is that I am his fiance. Um, so that's been, you know, a bonus. um, when I met Dr. Prince, though, I had some health conditions, and it was this process that helped me reverse all those things and overcome those things. And I'm a completely different person today than what I was 6 years ago. I'm actually very different from what I was 2 years ago. As you grow in this cleansing and detoxing and lifestyle change, the person that you are changes to the person that you need to become. And understand, I said the person that you need to become. Everything happens for a reason. And that's why I'm here today. Coach Michael.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My name is Coach Michael. I am a naturopathic holistic detoxification coach, just like Coach Sharon. Um, I've been being mentored by Dr. Eric Prince for about the same time as Coach Sharon as well.
Mhm.
When I first met Dr. Prince, I came to him with a wealth, a not good wealth of health issues. I was 50 pounds to 60 pounds heavier than I am now. I was dealing with high blood pressure. I was pre-diabetic. Probably was type 2, to be honest with you, at that time. At the age of 39, I was also dealing with extreme erectile dysfunction. So I was dealing with a lot of different ailments. Um, Going through the detoxification cleanse totally reversed everything. Not the first time, but just over time, all of those different elements started to fall away. Now I have none of those issues. I'm 47 and I feel as good as I felt when I was 21, if not even better, to be honest with you. Um, Let me see. I I really started to really have a lot of faith is one thing, knowing is another. Like I knew that I was on the right path when something came up on my bioscan. And what it was, I had something in the red. So we all know if we see red anything, it's typically maybe not so good. So
Right.
I did have something in the red. I was severely deficient vitamin B6. And I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm like, oh, it's just vitamin B6. And Dr. Prince was like, no, if you was to stay that way, that leads to Parkinson's is all and also dementia. Dr. Prince didn't know that I had ancestors that had been passing away from those very same ailments. He didn't know that. I didn't discuss that with him. But because of the detoxification process, I was not only able to correct those deficiencies, but now that generational curse that had plagued my ancestors for so many years has now been eradicated with me. I'm a father. I have a daughter that's 25 years of age, daughter that's 22 years of age, and a son that's 8 years of age. None of them will ever know that. They'll never have to deal with the heart disease or the dementia or any other diseases that was in my family tree in the past. So this is very deep. This is also about reversing generational curses that have plagued your ancestors for a very, very long time. And I also want to point out, guys, that like I said, you can heal a tremendous amount in 21 days. But to think that you're going to undo the damage of 21, 31, 41, 61, 71 years of damage in 21 days, if anyone is telling you that, then you're in the wrong place. I know it sounds good, but the human body just does not work that way. But the good news is that this detoxification process does an excellent job at expediting your healing process as quick as possible, as comfortable as possible. It can take the body 2 to 10 years to totally clean the body of all foreign matters, depending on the work that you do. So um, with that said, I'm very, very humbled to have found Dr. Prince and Coach Sharon because not only has it changed my life, it's changed my whole legacy of my people and my tribe. And I am forever grateful. I am divinely grateful for this process.
Amen. Thank you for sharing that. To be honest, Coach Michael, I never knew you were a test. I mean, I knew a little bit, right? But I didn't know all of that. No, that's
Hmm.
great to hear. And you touched
I
on a lot
went
of great points that I kind of want you guys to speak on with it not taking 21 days.
Hmm.
It
Right.
takes time. It takes time. It takes time. And something that I gotten for Dr. E and Coach Sharon was that um our bodies are heavily toxic and acidic, right?
Hmm.
And my people, so you guys, I have this group, Positive Pathways, and then people who follow me because they are also dealing with the same thing that we're dealing with, HSV. HSV is able to thrive, right? Because of the toxic and acidic environment that our bodies are in. So it's able,
Right.
it's getting everything it wants. It doesn't want to leave. It's that friend that's overstayed their welcome. It's like, man, you ain't got nowhere else to go.
Get off my couch.
Yes, it's on your couch eating potato chips, got their feet kicked up, got their soda pop, watching their favorite shows, just chilling. Our
Hmm.
bodies are so toxic and they're so acidic that HSV is extremely comfortable. I don't want to leave. I mean, this is a perfect environment, right? So I try to tell them that the more you cleanse, the less acidic, the less toxic your body will be, to a point where not only not HSV, but all these other viruses and diseases won't even want to live there anymore, because it's just like it
Hmm.
almost be like you gentrified your body. And
Yeah,
they're just
not conducive for them at all.
That's a great analogy.
they want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
if I want to be here, and we're not welcomed here anymore, right? So, if you guys could touch on that again, like I said, when I got tested in August 2024, I was at a 8.59. Now, March 2025, I'm at an 8.22. I did mess up, you guys. I did not get tested in January prior to starting my cleanse January 5th. So we don't really know where I was in January, but based off my results from when I got tested in 2022 to August 2024, I could only assume that they were higher than they were in August, right? But we don't know
Hmm.
for sure, so we're just gonna go
Right.
based off August to March. Um, I know it's not a huge difference, but for me, what it did for me is it said that what I'm doing is working, right? It's slow progress, but nonetheless, it's progress, and I still have faith that it's going to continue to go down. And I am going to start a new cleanse Tuesday, I think it's April 1st. I'm starting a new cleanse. So I'm even excited. I'm more excited to start the second cleanse, because I'm just like, if the first cleanse made it drop just a little bit, just imagine I haven't had any meat since December 31st, like none.
Yeah.
Um, till now. So I can only imagine all that my body's gonna be getting rid of, right? To where it's really truly, now we're really detoxifying. We're getting rid of all the stuff now. Like, it's really working. See where I'm at late May, early June. But I want you guys to touch on, for one, like, how do you guys see my progress working? And then what do you guys feel about people with HSV and their healing journey? Because I know you guys been working with a lot of people these last few months. My apologies,
Hmm.
not sorry, really, but
Yeah. Don't be sorry. We
yeah,
not sorry.
I'm not at all. Because listen, I want everybody to heal their bodies, and I feel like you guys are the best to walk them through this process. But no, what are your thoughts, like, to kind of, I guess, give people hope? Because I feel like some people were a little disappointed, they were sad. And again,
Hmm.
I'm not I'm actually like, okay,
Hmm.
okay. It takes
Yeah.
more commitment on my end. I feel like I'm already healed. I gotta commit a little bit more, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
I'm in no rush. I'm
Okay.
I'm giving my body time. So I just want to hear you guys' thoughts. I'll be quiet.
So I think to give your body the time that it needs to do what it needs to do is very, very important. You know, we live in a society now where everything is, I gotta have it now, it's gotta be fixed right now, it's gotta be done right now, I gotta be healed right now. But your body did not get into the condition even with HSV overnight. You know, we may think that, okay, we were exposed today and now we got it tomorrow, but that's not even how viruses work. um but when it comes down to it, you know, you have to allow time for your body to heal, no matter what the condition is. You can't heal from a cold overnight. You have to allow time for your body to go through a process. um Coach Michael mentioned what he was dealing with and what showed up on his bioscan. So, real quick, what showed up on my bioscan was I had a severe fatty liver. I had osteoporosis. And my doctors didn't tell me any of that. It was Dr. Prince and the bioscan that told me that. And after committing to cleansing and detoxifying my body and giving up animal products, It took 2 full years to reverse those things, among some other things that showed up on my scan, which, we'll be here all day if I rattled off that list. But um, it took 2 years, and I had to stay devoted to myself and committed to myself. And I had to have faith that what God put in front of me was for me to heal me. And it was this process. And like I said, I'm a completely different person because of it, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And we also have to understand that a lot of times, we are programmed to think that when disease shows up, that it's a permanent thing.
That right there.
It is not. Your body and all the symptoms that it is displaying is your body's innate way of saying, hey, we got toxic overload here. I need you to help me get rid of it. I need you to help me flush this out. I need you to help me clean the liver, clean the gastrointestinal tract, clean out the cells, clean the blood, clean the kidneys. I need help. And why is it asking you for help? Because every single day before you ever put one single thing in your mouth, you are exposed to over 700,000 different toxins every day in this country. Not only physical toxins, but mental toxins and emotional toxins and spiritual toxins. We are exposed to all of those. We are made to think untruths, which is why we think we got to have disease for the rest of our life, which is why we think that when a doctor prescribes medication, we have to be on it for the rest of our life. That is simply not true. God did not create your body to break down and betray you. Your body and all the symptoms that you're experiencing because your body is trying to heal you. When they say listen to your body, you got to listen. You got to listen. If you want to heal, you have to give yourself time in order to do it. You didn't get sick overnight, no matter what the condition is, be it HSV, be it diabetes or cancer or heart disease or whatever. It didn't happen overnight. It takes 8 years for a pea-sized tumor to develop in a woman's breast. 8 years. So if it takes that long for a tiny little tumor to develop, why is our medical system not able to see things earlier? Because their equipment is calibrated at trauma level. They can't see those things until it's a major issue, until you are in a crisis. So we now have to educate ourselves, and we have to do the work. Let me say that again. We have to do the work.
Can you say it one more
So
time? Sorry. One more time.
we have to do the work, people. We have to do the physical work. That means cleansing and detoxifying our bodies. That also means exercising. Exercise is mandatory if you are a human being. Exercise is mandatory. Now, you don't have to become, a sprinter. You don't have to become a bodybuilder. You don't have to become some huge athlete. But you do have to get up and move every day. And it can't just be the work that you do, the movement that you do when you're at work. That's insufficient because you're working, and under that work, you are stressed. You cannot exercise and have it be for your benefit if you're under stress. That's just a little side note right there. So Give yourself grace. You're not going to execute everything perfectly. As Alesstrah said, she messed up on her post detox, but she didn't really. She did one little thing. She didn't eat meat. Now, has she eaten some shrimp? That might have been a problem.
I didn't have no shrimp. I had sea bass.
And
That was
sea bass
it.
is okay.
That
You
was
know,
just sea
it's okay. But
bass.
it's not something that she made a habit. It was a one-time thing. She moved on beyond it. And she's continuing to grow in this process. And that's what this is. It's we're growing. And the more you are a part of it, the more you continue in it and you have faith, you trust in the process, you trust in the one who created the process. And I'm not talking about Dr. Prince, although this is in a way his creation, but he didn't grow none of these herbs, not a one. But we do know who did, and that's who we need to trust in. That's who Dr. Prince trusts in. That's who I trust in. That's who Coach Michael trusts in. That's who Alesstrah trusts in. And I know this because I have that kind of relationship with them. And we are all on the same page. And that is the most important component of us being able to help you heal, is that we are all on the same page. We are all trusting in the same energy, in the same spirit, in the same consciousness that created us. Because the same consciousness that created us is also within us and also within you. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Coach Michael.
Yes, man. That was powerful. That was powerful. I'm gonna try to take the baton and grow right with that. That same consciousness that's animating your body, that's having words come out of my mouth, can heal anything. Um, and that same thing has you in a place that knows what it takes biologically to heal you from HSV.
Mhm.
Um, what I kind of look at with a lot of my clients, and Coach Sharon kind of talked about this, is when if a doc we're conditioned to whereas if a doctor say you have cancer or HSV or diabetes mellitus type 1, when you hear that news, that's traumatic.
Mhm.
That's shocking to that individual. And it's because of the pre-programming that we're supposed to trust this doctor. And if they say it's not reversible, it's not reversible, right? But I've seen all those reversed. I've coached, I've walked side by side. Like every single thing that they said, I am a walking example of this. And I have coached hundreds of people and had the privilege to bear witness of what people deem miracles. So you couldn't be in a better place. Be careful. Coach Alesstrah touched on this too, on like looking at different things on social media. Unfortunately, social media can be turned into a platform to be a money machine and sell you false hope with things. I'm not a person that's like with like slang and all of that. Where your receipts at? Ain't that what they say? Where your receipts? They ain't got those. We got
Mhm.
receipts though. Okay. And we not gonna ever tell you that like this can be done in 21 days or something
Mhm.
like that, but we will give you the tools to reverse the process and head towards healing and away from the disaster. Um, I want to also talk about the traumatizing part of getting these different diagnoses and hearing these things and wanting to be healed quick. I get it. You have to heal from that, just hearing that diagnosis at that time. You should break down the word diagnosis as well. Do that. They shouldn't
Mhm.
even be telling you that. But anyway, when you hear that, you have to heal from that. So a lot of flare ups seem to really kick in from stressful type of situations. It can be stress, it can be depression, anger, all of these different things. And Coach Alesstrah talked about this earlier about bringing the body out of an acidic environment. So not only do you have, you have work to do, but you worth it and you're getting healthier at the same time biologically by changing your diet, fasting, detoxing, but now you have to be responsible for your emotions. We were never taught to do this. We were never educated to do this. All right. And there's no knock on our people who brought us up. They did the best they could, but our ancestors are coming from a place of survival. Okay. So they had a reason for being that way. We now have to heal ourselves and heal their wounds. But you have to now learn to manage your emotions and release and let go of your traumatic or traumatizing experiences, whatever they are. Because if not dealt with, those things will also hinder and slow down your healing progression and also put your body back in an acidic state. And I'm not just talking like when you feel those emotions, when you feel that stress, that's cortisol. That's a hormone that your body produces. Guess what? It's acidic. When you get mad, that's adrenaline. That's a hormone that your body produces. Guess what? It's acidic. So when you get into these places, you kind of stalking the fire, so to speak, and you will experience more flare-ups and more issues. So what you're kind of forced to do in a good way is to live in harmony, to fight for your peace. And if there ain't nothing else to fight for in this world, brothers and sisters, it's that peace.
Amen.
Amen to that. You wanna know what's so funny? While you guys were talking, the Bible app just pinged me and it says, "Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord." And when you're going through this process, you can't really just put your trust in yourself, nor Dr. E, Coach Sharon, Coach Michael, myself, right? You really, really, you gotta know, okay? You gotta know who
Absolutely.
your daddy
Mhm.
is, okay? I know who my father is. I know
Yes,
what he's
yes,
done.
ma'am.
I've seen what he's able to do, and I trust that he will heal my body
Mm-hmm.
and your body in his time, right? I don't know when he's gonna do it when it's the right time, and the right time is on his time. I might say the right time, guys, tomorrow. He says, "No, you got, you know, you're gonna wait a few months. You go let you marinate a little bit, right? And that's okay. That's okay. But I do trust that my body is healed. God has already fought this battle for me. He's won the victory. So the way that I'm approaching it, the way my outlook on my journey right now is that I'm not fighting to win this victory, right? I'm not battling this detox, this cleanse. I've already done the cleanse. I'm in my post cleanse. I'm getting ready to go straight into another cleanse fairly soon, if I might say. But that's me and my journey. But I'm not fighting against it. I'm fighting as if like it's already here.
Going
I'm
through the
enjoying this
process.
process. I'm excited, y'all. Like I know people were like sad, but I'm excited. Like I'm excited to see what God is going to do next. I was
Yeah.
already amazed when my numbers did go down because yes, I did have my French toast and there's nothing anyone could tell me to make me feel bad. Okay, that French toast was good and I did it twice. And it was
Hmm.
so good the first time I said I'm gonna come back for a second round a couple weeks later, okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay. And I had a few French fries, okay? And I tell you all the time, sue me. But here's the thing, I have given myself grace because I have done something that I've never been able to do. When I first went into the cleanse, I told y'all I have never been able to complete a 3-day water fast. I have never been able to stick with a meal plan because why can't I have things in moderation? Why are you trying to have me deprive myself of things that I enjoy eating that make me happy, that make me do my happy dance when I eat? I didn't want to do it, right? So I dance when I eat. If y'all didn't know, I dance before I eat because I'm happy.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I'm with you.
I get really happy when I'm getting ready to eat. So the fact that I was able to complete a 3-week cleanse, and I know when I talk about it, it seems like it was easy. It wasn't easy. I was praying all the time, Lord, give me strength, Lord, give me strength. I am hungry. Do you hear me? I am hungry. Even when I had to go to my grandmother's funeral, and my entire family was there, and they were eating everything under the sun. And I was just like, I left from hanging out with my family to go back to my hotel room to eat my walnuts, to drink my juice, to
Yes,
drink my
ma'am.
tea. And I sat there for a while. I prayed and I went back to go hang out. And that's what I had to do in order to stay committed. Because this, for me, anyways, this journey is not just for me, it's bigger than me, it's for others, right? So
Hmm.
I didn't have the luxury of messing up. But nonetheless, I did it. And not only did I do my cleanse, I was so excited. I was so proud of myself. I had to give thanks to him. I did a 3-day water fast just to
Let's
praise
go.
him for allowing me to even get through that when I've never, and I'm trying to tell y'all, people think I'm lying. Thank you for that.
Awesome.
I have never been able to stick with a diet because why can't have chocolate? What, what are you saying? You know what I mean? So why can't I have cookies? You know, like I
Hmm.
know my mom. I got snacks all the time. And that cleanse, again, it seems like it was easy for me, but it was hard. My kid is eating whatever she wants to eat, right? She eating whatever she want to eat. She say, "Oh, I'm eating the honey bun. You want one? Oh, you can't eat, huh?" And continues to do her little happy dance while she eating her snacks. And I had to live through that and going to my parents' house, hanging out with them, and being around people who are just they're enjoying their food. But I have something greater that I'm after, right? That's way more important to me. So that was big for me, but it was hard, and I experienced symptoms. I had the healing crisis. I had an outbreak. I hadn't had an outbreak in forever. I had an outbreak. It was mild. I had an eczema flare up that was terrible. My hands still look like I'm 80 years old. I mean, I don't. It's getting better though. It's getting better. I started using the scrub. You know, I had a psoriasis breakout, but it's all worth it to see that a little bit of a drop from August to March. I think it was like by 0.337. And it
Hmm.
seems small to a lot of people, but it's not small because I don't think people understand how much work your body actually has to do in
Hmm.
order to actually heal itself, right?
Right. Right.
And I never expected this first cleanse anyway. I never expected to be healed. For one, I already know my assignment and it just didn't fit in what God I feel like God has planned for me. But for
Hmm.
two, I've been eating meat like it ain't nothing. I've been eating processed food since I was 3 months. I mean, I don't know. I've been having fast food, I'm not above fast food. Yeah, I don't eat it all the time, but I definitely indulge, right? So for me to have expectations of being healed after a 3-week cleanse is crazy. My body is heavily toxic. It's extremely
Mhm.
acidic. Again, for those who don't know, before I started this cleanse, I was eating steak or bison 3 times a day. I was eating eggs. I was eating
Wow.
blackberries. I was eating blue. I know it was. I was eating good. I'm not gonna lie, Coach Sharon, Coach Michael. I was enjoying my steak. Um, it tasted really good. It was so good. Medium rare, by the way, but no sauce. It was seasoned to perfection. But I was eating that before I did the cleanse, right? So if that was what I was eating before the cleanse, and they have taught us that animal protein is a major cause of disease and viruses. Yeah, I expected to still have HSV.
Hmm.
I expected to still have HSV, but I'm going through this process. I'm giving my body grace and space, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm allowing it to heal on its terms, its time, and not to rush the process. because while trying to rush the process, Coach Michael mentioned this. You're stressing, and I've told you guys this before.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, when you put too much stress on yourself, oh, I'm having an outbreak. Oh, I want to be healed today. You're actually being counterproductive because
Right.
you're trying to heal, but then you're constantly in your head and you're panicking, you're overwhelmed, you're stressing, you have anxiety, you're depressed,
Mm-hmm.
and you're really working against your body's natural healing path, right?
100%.
You're adding
100%.
blockages. So we got
Right.
to shift our mindset. And I want you guys, I'm going to let them talk on this too, but I want you guys to really stop looking at this as just a cleanse for HSV. And I want you all to stop looking at this as just a physical cleanse. This is a physical cleanse, yes, and it is to heal you from HSV. Yes, those two things are true. However, this is a mental, emotional, and spiritual cleanse. And when you start to look at it like that, big picture, this
Mm-hmm.
process will be a lot easier and you'll be able to formulate your why. Why am I, first off, paying the money? I tell you all the time, if you can't do it, do not waste your money because I don't like wasting money. And so if you feel like you
Right.
can't commit, don't pay the money. It's okay. You're not ready yet, and that's fine. That is okay. You'll start when you're
Mm-hmm.
ready to start. But not even just that, you're the juices. I've already told you what I thought about the juices. You're putting your body through a process that's not necessarily fun. It's not easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So figure out why are you doing this? Why are you sacrificing, right? Why are you cutting out meat? Why are you cutting out dairy? Why are you cutting out processed foods, fast food? Why are you doing these things? What is your why? Because your why is going to be what gets you through the not just the cleanse, but the post cleanse. And not even just that, it's going to shift your mindset. It's going to shift your lifestyle to where you come to an understanding that you want to do total body healing, not just of HSV. But I want to let them, I want to shut up and let the real coaches talk. Because I'm a coach, but I ain't like them yet. So
No, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I
So,
appreciate it.
but you're absolutely right. You know, you have to find out what your why is. Um, I don't have HSV. However, this process has been so important in my life because in my family line is heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. Those are the three major ones. I'm sure there's probably some other stuff I haven't even really heard about or even understood. But I know I saw my family members suffer with these things. My mother is still dealing with some of these things. And she hasn't gotten to the point yet where she's committed and ready to give up the meat and the sugar and the dairy. She's not ready. And I have to let her be where she is. And if that's where you are, that's where you are right now. But eventually, you will find your why. And your why is going to be so important to you getting through the process and to you also being able to help someone else get to through the process because that is the biggest picture right there is being able to help someone else through this process. um, I knew I didn't want to have heart disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure. I didn't want to be on the medications. I didn't want to have any of the symptoms. I didn't want to, diabetes was really big on my father's side of the family. All of his siblings had it. His mother, passed from complications of it. He had at least two of his siblings who passed from complications of it. My uncle actually had um, a leg amputated. And so, you know, all of that scared me. And I was like, Lord, if I can avoid this, show me how. Show me how. Lead me in the direction I needed to go. And somehow along the way, I met Dr. Prince and learned about this process. I did this process. And at the age of almost 50 next month, I don't have diabetes. I'm not close to having diabetes. I don't have borderline diabetes. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have any of those other issues in my family line, and I'm not going to develop any other issues that may come up from something else, somewhere else, or whatever the case may be, because I am committed to myself and I am committed to my legacy. My nieces, my nephews, I want them to be able to learn of this process and apply it to their lives so that they never have to experience what's in our bloodline. Just because something is in the bloodline does not mean you have to experience it. There's a term called epigenetics. Epi means above. So above your genes. Just because you received certain genes from your parents doesn't mean that your genes have to express those same things. Your genes express themselves based on the environment that you put them through. Now, of course, we all have a certain environment because, we all had to grow up under our parents and they taught us to live and eat and think a certain way. Well, now we have the power to change all of that. We don't have to eat like our parents. We don't have to think like our parents. We don't have to live the way our parents lived. What we now have to do in order to keep this next generation of children from dying before their parents, what we now have to do is educate ourselves, make the commitment to ourselves and to our legacies, and do the work. We have to do the work. I know I said that earlier, but if we don't do the work, it's not just that we won't heal from HSV, but it's that we won't heal from anything, and neither will our children or their children's children, and so on and so forth. We have to start doing the work right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely, coach. And it's about, sacrificing. When Coach Alesstrah was talking, I was writing down the word. I try to take notes as we discuss, and I was writing down the word sacrifice, and she said sacrifice, like you're sacrificing
Mm-hmm.
to yourself, like when you're having a hard time, and you're hungry and the juices don't taste so pleasurable, this is a sacrifice to yourself. Why? Because you don't know how good you don't feel. You have no idea until you actually do this process. And
Right.
it's so loudly subtle. You like, I ain't never felt like this
Mm,
ever in my life. Never. So like you tune in a little bit better to that station, if that makes sense. You're you starting to feel that you draw closer to that thing within you that's animating everybody right now. And you
yeah.
stripping that signal. Okay. Um, in terms of like if you I kind of want to go back to like if you have a doctor and they're and this is no knock on like any medical practitioners, but if they're telling you that they can't help you, then you don't need to be there. You need to, be with a team that's showing you exactly what it is you're looking for. All right. You have to realign yourself with somebody that's on your page. And what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is not far-fetched because everybody knows somebody, if I know if a person, I know some of my clients that had cancer, they do deep dives in cancer. When a person has HSV, you guys have done deep dives into that. So you have seen proof that this is possible. So if your doctor is not on that page, you need to be exactly where you at, and that's what Coach Alesstrah. Coach Sharon, Dr. Prince, myself. Um, let me see. Yeah, no, you found what you've been praying for and looking for. It
Mm,
may not be what you thought, like, maybe you thought it was gonna be, 5 days and it's this, but it's not that, but you did find it. So it may not have come how you wanted it, but it's here, and there's a bright, beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. But you got to take the steps to get to it. You got to do the work, like Coach said.
Oh, absolutely.
mhm.
Got to do the work. And you know what I want people to understand why this particular process is so unique? And Coach Michael mentioned this earlier, you get people who will say, hop on the internet and say, I'm healed, right? And you gotta have to use discernment. Is their process really working? You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
these are able to see what this process really looks like. A lot of people do, I've watched plenty of videos of people, saying that they're healed and they talk about their process, but you guys are literally real life in my back pocket. You know what I mean? I am showing you what this process looks like. I am telling you guys what my symptoms were. I am showing you my actual test results from when I first got tested. When I got tested in August of 2024, when I got tested in March 2025. I am telling you about how I feel throughout the 3 week cleanse, you know, I told you guys how I felt. My body felt amazing. I told you guys about my symptoms. I'm telling you when I'm eating French toast. I told you guys when I got the plant-based version of Chipotle. Okay, sue me, Coach Michael, Coach Sharon. I don't care. Like I am giving you guys like the raw, uncut journey of what it looks like when people are actually on their healing process because I am human, okay? I'm going
Mhm.
to make mistakes. I have to extend first off, I knew I was not going to be like 100% raw diet coming off my 3 week cleanse because that's cold turkey, right?
So,
And that's not realistic. I would not have been able to keep that up forever. I would have slipped at some point. But
Mhm.
the way that I'm going, I was able to eliminate dairy. I was able to eliminate meat. I told Dr. E the other day, I said, look, the second cleanse, I promise you ain't gonna eat French fries afterwards. Ain't gonna want them. I mean, except for sweet potato French fries. So, sweet potato French fries, I'm not cutting them out. But I want you guys to understand that you guys are like getting a peek at what the process looks like. And not to say that you guys need to compare my journey to your journey, but I want you guys to understand that this is what it looks like. There's ups, there's downs. There are going to be days where you're doing everything correctly. You taking the herbs, you're still doing your oil of oregano, your black seed oil after you do the 3 week cleanse. You're still drinking your alkaline water. You're eating based off your blood type. Because I do eat off based off my blood type. So I would say 90% of the time I'm eating how I should eat. The 10%, okay, again, sue me. Um, I'm human, right? But the more I detox, right, the less I'm going to crave certain things. I did one 3 week cleanse. I still have parasites in my body. I'm sure they're lurking around. So yes, I crave certain things, but the more I detox, the less acidic, the less toxic my body will be.
Right.
And if you don't know this, parasites actually cause your body to be toxic. It causes your body to be acidic because they are releasing toxins into your
Right.
body constantly, right?
phytotoxins. Yep.
Yes, and they impact your food cravings. Not only that, a lot of people don't know this, that they're actually impacting your behavior, your emotions, your mood. Okay, so as I continue to detox, as you continue to detox, you are becoming a better version of yourself. So a lot of the things that I like today, after the second cleanse, I'm probably not gonna be too interested. Not just the food, it might even be what I listen to, the music, it might be the conversations that I'm having, what I'm reading. Um, even just how I deal with people in general, right? I have slight road rage. I just hopefully the second cleanse helps me with that. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're gonna see.
It
But like
will.
I want to get better. I want to get better.
Yeah.
And I just want y'all to appreciate this process because y'all are literally like y'all are watching me do my journey on healing my body. And I personally have never seen that anywhere. I've seen people say, "Hey, I want to start this cleanse." They pop up 6 months later and they're healed, right? But you guys are getting to see the behind the scenes, right? And I want you guys to appreciate that process. So yes, the first results weren't what you guys expected. And I'll be honest, I love that y'all was just like, oh, she finna be healed. I love the energy. I love the prayers. I love the vibes. I love that. But I want you guys to understand that I understand that this is a process. And I want you guys to understand that this is a process. And I really want you guys to just know that you're healed. I want you to declare it, claim it, receive it, right? And hold
Mhm.
that close to your heart and just know, okay, this first cleanse, I'm still positive. It's okay. It's okay. That doesn't mean to stop doing what you're doing. That means to keep going.
Right.
We got to keep going. We can't give up, right? We got to keep pushing. Okay, cool. We're going to do a second cleanse. Okay, it's progress, more progress. We getting there. I'm still not negative. Okay, that means to keep going, and don't revert back to your old habits. Okay, I have French toast, but I didn't go back to eating steak. I'm not eating eggs, right? I'm not going out. I didn't really drink alcohol to begin with, but I'm not doing these things. I'm continuing on my path. I'm trying to get better. I don't want to
Mhm.
continue eating French fries. I love French fries. I told Dr. Eric back in October I didn't want to do his cleanse because I didn't want to give up my steak and I didn't want to give up my French fries. And I honestly should have added crab cakes in there. But I wasn't thinking at the time. So I told him the two things that came to mind. But he told me I needed to do the cleanse. And I did it. And I was able to give up something that I didn't think that I could ever give up. And that was steak. I love steak, right? So, okay, I was able to give up steak. But now, again, after the second cleanse, it's going to be the French fries. And then maybe Chipotle too. And then the third cleanse, it's just going to keep getting better and better, right? Like I'm making progression
Yeah.
as I keep detoxing my body. And again, even my mental, some of the things that would have aggravated me prior to doing the first cleanse, I can kind of like, okay, I can just say, okay, block, or just do a deep sigh, deep breath, right? This cleanse, again, is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual for me.
Yes.
I've gotten so much closer to God. Um, I got to pray a lot, ask for strength,
Yes.
guidance, discipline, ask for discipline a lot, right? Um, and the more you commit to this process, the more you are going to have to build a relationship with him because honestly, without him, I'll be honest, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to heal unless you believe that he can do it. Because
Mhm.
I don't know which one, Coach Sharon, Coach Michael, I don't know who said it, but this isn't a doctor here. It's not his protocol that's healing. I mean, I don't care who you go to do your protocol. If you don't trust the big man above to to heal, I don't think that you're going to get the results that you're looking for because it's not who you go through, it's who you believe in and who you are as well, right? Because you got to do the work.
Mhm.
Coach Sharon can't make you drink them juices, get those viral frequency neutralization therapy sessions. Neither can Coach Michael can't make you take your herbs. He can't make you exercise 3 to 4 times a week. He can't make you regulate your emotions. They can only coach you to do those things, but you also have to be open and receptive to the coaching. They can't
Right.
help you if they don't know what's going on. You have to utilize them. Like Coach Sharon has said before, you're paying for it. You're paying for that. That's part of the
Mhm.
process. You get so much with this protocol. I don't think people understand how spoiled you really you're really spoiled. You get so much. And I
Right.
mean, yeah, okay. A lot of people offer juice and recipes that offer you herbs. Okay, yeah, that's typical.
Yep.
But the coaching, the classes, Dr. E, for the people with HSV alone, he does a class every Wednesday. And I mean every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. Because he wants you guys to have the knowledge, not to just heal. He doesn't
Mhm.
want you to just heal your bodies of HSV. He wants you guys to understand your human body. He wants you to understand what God has blessed us with, that we don't have to live with disease.
Right.
You don't have to grow in old age. We don't gotta, I mean, you can be 80, but you ain't gotta look it, and nor do you gotta feel it, right? I don't think
Mhm.
y'all understand. Like, and he doesn't just want you to have knowledge for yourself. I forgot which coach mentioned it earlier, but to take this to your loved ones. You want to. I think both of them actually. I think both of you touched on that. Your
Yeah.
loved ones, your friends, your family. My daughter keeps saying. I went on a field trip yesterday with my daughter, and we were having lunch. Now, my daughter is not vegan, by the way, but she wants to work towards being vegan. Like a lot of the foods she's switched out, right? So she eats more vegan options. Some processed, but nonetheless, she's getting there. But one of her classmates was just like, yeah, she said she was vegan. I said, well, she's not vegan, but she's working towards it. And
Mhm.
I want y'all to understand, like, people are watching you, and when they see that you feel good and you know you're
Yeah.
healing your body, and they're going to want to do that. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who don't even have HSV. One of my neighbors decoded December 16th. We thought we were going to lose him. I've known this man since I was a child. Um, really sad. So I told him, I said, okay, um, I got to get you talking to my holistic doctor because he got his leg amputated. I want to say I do know he's going through dialysis for his kidneys, and it looks like I didn't ask because I didn't want to probe, but like he has some hair loss, and it looks like he's going through chemo or something, radiation. One of my other neighbors, colon cancer. Her mom had it, her dad had it, her dad passed, and her mom has healed from it. I got this little 25-year-old that's trying to date me. I'm telling y'all my business, but I don't want to date him. But I was telling him that I'm getting ready to do a cleanse, and he was like, "Oh, that's what I need to be doing. I need to cleanse. I need to detox." And I tell everybody about this cleanse. I don't care what you have. I told my father, my mom, my aunt, my uncles, listen, y'all need to do this. I want you guys to live long, healthy lives. So it's really
Mhm.
important. I want y'all to know that this team wants you guys to not just heal yourselves, but they want y'all to heal everyone around you. And not only that, the coaching, y'all, the coaching. I work more closely with Coach Sharon because she's a woman. Coach Michael typically works with the men who are going through the detox process. Coach Sharon will tell you, I call her and I let her know. Coach Sharon, didn't I call you and tell you when I messed up on my post cleanse? And she was just like, why are you telling He was just like, "Why are you telling me?" I was just like, I was thinking because you're my coach, but and I'm holding myself accountable, like I'm letting you know I messed up." And she told me to give myself grace. But when I was in Mississippi for my grandmother's funeral, she checked on me, right, to make sure because she knew I was going somewhere out of my element. I'm going to be around people who are eating and they're carrying on, and I might
Mhm.
be tempted to eat. So she checked on me. She's always like, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling?" But you guys, y'all are spoiled. I don't know too many other programs where y'all get actual coaching. And let's not even get into the energy work that they do. Now that I can tell you, you're not getting anywhere else.
No.
That is, you're not getting that anywhere else. Like this program, okay, yes, you might think that my results were a little are is going slow, but your body and my body, we're two different people. You might have um a larger decrease in your IgG levels, right? We're different. That's why I say don't compare. Don't even use me for a baseline. Just know that I'm doing this process, I'm documenting, and it's working. It's progression. But I'm
Mhm.
gonna let them talk about the energy work because I need y'all to understand. Like you guys get so much with this team, and I love them so much. Like we're family, right? Like I talk to them all the time, and I'm really thankful for what they have been able to do for myself, but also the people of Positive Pathways and people who are not even part of Positive Pathways, but who are struggling with HSV, and they've been able to help. and all the positive feedback that I've received from this program. But I'm gonna shut up again. Let them talk.
Okay. So the viral frequency technology, actually it's not just viral frequency, it's about frequency in general. So absolutely everything is energy. You are energy. The chair or couch you're sitting on is energy. The table in front of you is energy. The thoughts you think are energy. HSV is energy. It's all energy, and we are all connected to everything. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed, it can be transferred. Every time you step into someone else's space, you are stepping into their energy and you are exchanging energy with them. Now, what kind of energy are you exchanging? Are you exchanging energy for HSV, for the common cold, for heart disease? Are you exchanging energy for anger, frustration, for joy, happiness, love, peace? You can exchange all of that energy stepping into someone else's energy field as they step into yours. Have you ever walked into a room and felt uneasy? You were sensing the negative energy in that room. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like, wow, it feels amazing in here? You were feeling the positivity in that room, the joy, the peace, or whatever it may have been. That's what you were feeling. The technology that we have has the energy frequencies for thousands and thousands and thousands of different frequencies, from emotional frequencies to disease frequencies, everything. Remotely, we are actually able to send those energies to you. Think of it in the same way that if you prayed for someone, how that prayer reaches them, because it's about your intention. Our intention to help you heal in conjunction with the technology is how we're able to send those frequencies to you. Of course, we have to program certain information about you into the system, like your name, your date of birth, your age, your phone number, your email address, your place of birth, and a picture of you. All those things carry a frequency that is directly connected to you. And so when we put all that information into the system, and the system also has GPS, so it's literally able to find you via frequency, just like the kind of frequencies that we would get on our television when we turn on the TV, or on the radio when we turn on the radio. You know, those things, there are no people living in your TV. It's transferred by energy, the same energy that you are made of. So the technology has the frequencies for HSV and for many, many, many other diseases. We can neutralize those negative energy frequencies using the technology. We can balance certain energies. So let's say, for example, you had a bad day at work and you are feeling stressed. The system can actually read that stress that you're feeling and send you energy frequencies to balance and or neutralize that stress. People have reported getting better night's sleep. People have reported waking up the next day and having an abundance of energy. Um, we have sent people frequencies for um, smoking because they wanted to quit, or for drinking because they wanted to quit. We have sent people frequencies for skin disorders, um, all kinds of things, for grief. I lost my dad a little over a year ago, and I've been dealing with the grief of that. When Dr. Prince scanned me for the very first time, it picked up that grief. I was amazed. I didn't even, and when he told me about it, I didn't even know how much grief I was feeling until he mentioned it to me. And after he said it, I of course I started bawling. But anyway,
Okay.
he was able to send balancing frequencies to help me deal with that grief, to help me deal with the depression of it. Because when you lose someone, there's no way to just, you don't just get over it. You don't just say, oh, okay, well, he's gone and I just have to move on. You might say that, but internally that's not what's happening, because there's loss, there's devastation. And so sometimes you need some help to cope with that. You need some help to deal with that. And we need help to deal with a lot of it because we haven't learned how to manage our stress. We haven't learned how to deal with our stress. And so Dr. Prince always talks about the fact that he meditates. And, through meditation, he is actually able to, um, what's the word? He's able to balance his energy. He's able to release negative energies through that process. Well, I have not yet learned how to meditate like that. This sister need help. So I am eternally grateful for the technology. It's stress relief and pain cessation therapy. That's the name that we've given it, because that's what it does. We've had people who were dealing with major pain, and they reached out, let us know what they were going through. We programmed them into the system, sent them some frequencies, and this person is in New York. We're in Chicago. She woke up the next morning amazed that the pain she had been feeling, the severe pain she had been feeling for weeks, was now gone. The system works. That's all I can say. Michael?
No, absolutely. Energy don't lie. Keep that same energy, right? Like everybody's talking about energy, not
Mhm.
realizing that we are what Coach Sharon said. We are pure energy. This is debatable, like how many, I don't know, trillions of cells we have, but it can be between 50 to 150, etc. But each of those cells has a 0.7 voltage charge to them. So we are pure energy. Um, by and coach kind of touched on this earlier. When you're stressed out, you prohibit your healing. And the thing is, we don't truly understand the magnitude of the devastation that stress does to the body. When we think about stress on a baseline level, most people think that, okay, if you're stressed out, you might have high blood pressure. But no, it causes diabetes, it causes heart attacks, it causes cancer.
Mhm.
So by removing the stress, it gives your body the ability to heal at again a quicker rate. You're
Mhm.
removing any obstacle in the way of you healing. For you, some people kind of want to know, just so you guys don't think that we just kind of talk, and I'll break it down physically or biologically for you. When you get stressed out, most people know you got something called adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys that release cortisol. When cortisol is released, it constricts your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. So now you have slowed down the detoxification process. And also, so as your body tries to move out all type of toxins or viruses, you have now slowed that process down. So that's the 1 + 1 = 2. All right. So that's just a small piece of how dangerous it can be. The system again helps to relieve that, remove all of those different, blockages, open you up for healing. It helps you to heal at again an expedited rate. Um, but no, that's it. It's the same thing. Like if I call Coach Alesstrah, she has one phone number. If I call her, it's going to go right to her. Call Coach Sharon, same thing. We all have an energy marker, an energy signature attached to us. No one else got this thumbprint. Nobody else, right? So we all have these different individual things about us that no one else in the world has. And this is what we're able to tap into. So it's quite remarkable, and no one else is offering anything like this. And it works whether you believe it or not. It doesn't matter. It's still going to help out.
It definitely works. And the reason I know it works is because when I travel, doesn't matter if I'm traveling by car, plane, I get tension headaches the night before that last the entire day of travel. So it'll start like at night when I'm supposed to be finishing up packing and the entire day I'm traveling, right? So when I had to go down to Mississippi for my grandmother's funeral, I had Dr. E do a session for me while I was asleep. I had a slight, I could tell my headache was getting ready to come before, because literally always it's like clockwork. It never fails. Right before I was getting ready to go to sleep, but he ended up doing my session while I was asleep. So I woke up the next day. I actually got first off, I got a full night's rest, which is unheard of. I usually only get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep because I can't sleep because I have a headache. My head is banging. I didn't have no headaches at all, any. And not only that, I felt amazing. I was felt really good. Matter of fact, the session that I had right before I got tested the first time. So I got tested twice in March. I got tested, I want to say on March. I don't know. Let me not lie about the dates. I can't remember. But I got tested mid March. But I went to LabCorp and they gave me the results that I was looking for. But I had a session right before the day that I went to go get my blood drawn. And when I tell you during that session, I felt really amazing. I felt feelings of thankfulness. I felt grateful. I was just really appreciative of everything. I was really just relaxed at peace. My doctor, he could tell you, like, my dog is barking as always. My kids running back and forth, running back and forth. And I didn't even, usually, my first instinct is to like fuss at them, right? I felt so good. I didn't even care. It was almost just like, there's a storm and I'm literally, laying on the beach, just super relaxed, just calm, cool, and collective. But then the next day I woke up and I felt so good. I was crying, but happy tears, not because I was sad, but because regardless of what's happening, regardless of what my results were, I'm just in a place of peace and calmness and joy. And I felt grateful. And for me, the sessions help like my mood. I feel really good the next day. And I always tell him, thank you, like, thank you. Because what I don't know what you did, don't really care. I just know that I feel better than I did prior, especially if, I had a day that was kind of busy or stressful for me and I have a session. Please get this all up off me. Please. I want to release this energy because it's not mine. And
Mhm.
usually after my sessions, I won't talk to anybody. Like if I have a session and it's later in the evening and people are contacting me, I don't want to talk to you afterwards because I want to feel what I'm feeling. I like
I
this
get
feeling.
that.
I like
I
this
Mhm.
energy.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Yes. I
yeah.
don't want any of your negative emotions. I don't if you stress. I don't want to talk about HSV. I don't want to talk about your workday. I don't care. I feel amazing and I want to keep this energy to myself because I
Mhm.
not so much I don't want to share the energy, but I don't want to receive any of your negative energy to
Right.
offset my positive energy. So I literally won't talk to people and I'll tell them the next day, my bad, listen, I had an energy session, okay? Like I could not afford to talk to you.
Exactly. And
But it works.
I'm so glad that you do that, because what you are doing is protecting your energy. And it is important that we all learn how to protect our energy. Sometimes we just have to not engage in the negativity, not engage in the violence, not engage in certain things that come up. Let me tell you, Dr. Prince and I are so very connected that even though he is in Florida right now, when he ran the men's 200 meters. So he had the prelims on Tuesday. He also had the semifinal on Tuesday. So Tuesday morning was the prelims. And at that moment, I sat down and I focused my attention only on him because I wanted to feed him that good energy, right? That afternoon, I was trying to focus my attention on him, but I kept feeling this uneasiness and I couldn't understand why. Um, but when I spoke to him later that day, he told me he was feeling uneasy about the race. He was having muscle cramping. And he just wasn't feeling his best, and he really had to push through that race so that he could make it to the final. And then I understood exactly why I felt that way. Well, the next day, I had to take my car into the shop. And while I was sitting there, I got a text message from one of my girlfriends. And she was like, call me when you get a chance. And I know that there was some drama, okay, that she wanted to talk about. And knowing how connected I am to Dr. Prince, and I didn't want to mess up none of his races or nothing. I didn't want to set him off in any kind of way. I was like, I really don't want to talk to her because I know where this is going and I can't do it. It's going to mess up my energy, which in turn can affect his energy because we are what you would call um, um, quantumly entangled. Okay. We'll talk about that at a later date. I ain't gonna get into all of that, but there's entanglement, and everybody you've ever been connected with, you are quantumly entangled in some way or another. But again, not gonna get too much into that. So when I got home, since I did tell her I was gonna call her, I called. But this is how the universe works. She couldn't answer. She responded and said, hold on. So I waited for her to call. And guess what, y'all? She never did. She never did. I was like, whew, safe. Because I wasn't ready to deal with that energy. And when you are not ready to deal with the energy, if you cannot handle the energy, then you shouldn't. Protect your energy. Protect the energy of those around you because they are connected to you. And what affects you is going to affect them too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, ladies, I'm gonna have to hop off. I
Yes.
have a little boy that's 8, and he's been calling me for a while, so I'm gonna have to.
Literally, I feel you. My daughter
Yeah.
just asked me to do her passcode for Roblox, so I get it.
Oh, he same.
Yeah.
How much
But
money in Robux do
No
you
idea
spend?
what that is.
so I ended up doing for her because she hasn't had Robux in forever, and she's just constantly bugging me for it. And so I just did a monthly subscription for her, 9.99 for 1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And Coach Michael, I
She
did that
still
last
got some money.
weekend.
She
You
still got
know,
some money.
she spent 1,000 Robux in less than an hour. And
I believe it.
I
Wow.
said, this is for a month. I like, you're not getting more for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I feel you, but no, this was really great. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys introducing yourselves. For those who are want to watch this video, these are the people that you guys are going to be working with along with Dr. E, right? Like you guys will talk to Dr. E, but these are the individuals that you're going to really be talking to on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and they're going to be helping you along this process and not just during your 3-week cleanse, you guys. If you need them during your post cleanse,
Hmm.
they are committed to the cause, and they they want to see you succeed. They want to see you healed, so they are there. So again, I appreciate you both for sitting here on a Friday night talking,
Yeah.
to give them some more insight on what this process is and how the body actually heals and the time that it needs to do so. So I appreciate you both, but I'll give you guys some time to enjoy your Friday evening. And Coach Michael, I'll let you hang out with the kiddo. I definitely understand that.
Right. And
And I appreciate you for doing what you're doing,
yes,
for being
indeed.
the voice of cause, for being vulnerable to the world and exposing everything and all things to show that all things are possible and showing the God in you. So I appreciate that, my sister. All right. Blessings to both of y'all. All right.
Thank you.
Indeed. Blessings, peace. Tell Matt.